Hey everybody, it's JR, the owner of St. Jean Creative Photography, and I want to welcome everybody to the very first episode of Snapshot Stories, the stories behind our favorite photographs. And I got a very special guest. His name is Pat Donnelly. He's sitting right next to me. And Pat has a very special profession. He's also known as Santa Claus all around the world. And I was very excited to have Pat be my very first guest because we've done a few gigs together. And he's one of the very first people I worked with in photography in St. Petersburg. So he's kind of important to me, so I wanted him to be number one. Because if I keep him number one, he'll keep me number one. So that's very important.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
All right, Pat, so how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Weather's nice today. Beginning of January. I'm still on Christmas break. You got to go back to work here Monday. We've been off. Yeah, they give us off a couple of weeks at Christmas. It's a great job. Work as a plumber with the county schools. And 2 weeks at Christmas. It's really nice. It's a nice.
So I would imagine having the look that you have working in the school system. I'm kind of curious, like how many kids do you kind of scare every day when you walk around the hallways?
It's funny, the younger kids, they give us kind of like a uniform to wear. It's just a button-down shirt, or we got T-shirts, whatever. But the kids, the younger ones, when I come into a classroom, because they may be having class, and I'll walk in right away. Some of them, it's Santa, and the teacher will go, shh, don't say that. And I go, no, it's okay because I am. If the teacher doesn't know me, a lot of times they do know me already. But the older kids, it's funny, the younger ones are excited to see me and all, and ask me, why are you here? I said, well, I do some work for the schools, because I know plumbing, but my main thing is to come and watch you guys. I try to keep my eye on you and see who's behaving. You see their eyes get big, like, oh, they get worried a little bit. But the older kids at high schools and stuff, they think it's a joke, until then they yell, hey, Santa! And I'll stop and turn around and look like, yeah, did you call me? And then sometimes I'll go over with my phone. I've got pictures, of course, that you've taken with me and I'll show them, and then they get a kick out of it. They think, hey, it's great, he's Santa, So then after they see me, they think they're like trying to play a joke on me.
But they're not.
Yeah, that you're going to call me Santa. And I really am. That's what they go, oh, he really is Santa. And then they're all good with me afterwards. They're a little bit more respectful.
So when you go out into the world and you're meeting people, as at Christmas time or around there, and you get students who are in your schools that you might recognize, how do they react to you when you're in your outfit? Do they recognize you as working at the school, or do they kind of not recognize you? Or
no, I was surprised actually. A couple times it's happened. Just like I say again with the younger kids. One of the kids said, hey, I seen you yesterday or a day or two ago. And I go, oh yeah, where at? And he goes, you were at my school. And I go, oh, I was, because I do Santa for some of the schools. I do some charity work with the schools, and I show up right before our Christmas break. And we go to different classrooms, different schools. But I was really surprised that it was one of the kids that I had seen at the school doing Santa. It was pretty funny.
So everybody out there in the world who's watching us right now, I'm going to put all of Santa's information in the description below. So if you're ever looking for a Santa or to come to an event or something, I highly recommend you book them as soon as possible. I've already got 5 bookings for next year, for coming up in December, with a big production that's going to be going on. So I'm sure there'll be a few more. But the sooner you can book your events and get your Santa there, the better off you'll be. It's a lot of stress, because trust me, I've met so many people who wait till like the last day of November. Oh, we got a Christmas event in a week. Do you have Santa Claus? And I'm like, well, I'll call him, because Santa's in my cell phone, by the way, and he's just not available because he's just so busy.
Yeah, this year was surprising. I'll get him in October. This year was probably the earliest. It was early October. I was getting calls. Usually it's late October, November, And of course, we still get them, like you say, the late ones in December. But I was surprised this year, early October, I was getting calls that people were booking me. So,
So how busy was how many years have you been doing Santa Claus for?
I was doing it for quite a few years just for family and friends. In the early days, I actually, my beard wasn't so white as it is now.
You had to like dye your beard, or you had to bleach your beard? Or?
What I did, I wore a fake beard.
Okay.
I had one of the fake ones. Now they got fake ones that they are just, they look real. They glue
I do.
on.
I actually have one at home.
Yeah, they're
in
great.
My closet.
They really look good. But no, it's always been my beard. But in the earlier days, for family and friends, I'd put on that because it was shorter and it was more of a brownish red color. I actually had red hair at one time.
So what got you interested in actually being Santa Claus?
I'm the youngest of 7. And
oh, that's funny because I'm the oldest of 7.
oh yeah, my brothers and sisters, myself and one of my sisters, we've only had one child apiece, but the rest of them had 3, 4. I don't know if anybody's had 5, but those children now have gotten children, and they all have like 4 or 5, and it's getting so. We had a family reunion just a few years ago, and there were 77 of us in from those 7, my brothers and sisters, and then all my nephews, nieces, their husbands, wives.
They're
of course.
having kids now too.
I've got like great nephews, that are. So there were 77 of us from 7.
That's a huge family.
Yeah, just for that those 7 to come up with that many. Yeah, it was quite.
So you kind of started doing it for family members?
Yeah, I was doing it for family for quite a while there, but now professionally, I think it's been 5 years. Maybe I'm going into 6.
So what made you make the leap to doing a more professional Santa versus
one of my neighbors, a girl that helps me with my website, she said, you gotta try to do this professionally, is how she started helping me with the website. And I said, well, I'll look into it, but I never thought, I was always doing it just to do it. I have different events. I had a bar that would have me come in, and I'd do it there, and family events, whatever, different parties and stuff. But I realized that you could make a little bit of money.
Well, we do have to survive.
That's never a bad thing. So, and it's, I say about the money. To me, it's not really about the money. Those kids is what it's about. It's really nice. So anyway, for 5 years now, I say now I'm card-carrying Santa. I have a membership to the International Brotherhood of Real Bearded Santas, and they're nationwide. I forget how many members there are in that group, and I got they sent me a card and a little plaque, and so so now I'm a professional Santa. I'm a card-carrying Santa.
So when you're going out to be Santa, what are some of the things that you do to get ready to go out and be Santa?
It's funny, a couple times I've left the house like without my hat or the gloves or something. So I've made a checklist, and before I leave the house every time now, and my sister-in-law has helped me out with the suits, a couple of them. She's helped me made them. She's referred them. I sent it out to get cleaned one time and come back with pink fur.
Oh no!
It was really, I was so bummed out.
Did she take all the fur off and put new fur? Wow.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she really, she's been a tremendous help. But I made a checklist, and it goes down the list of my boots, my belt, my pants. And sometimes I get dressed at home, so I know, I got this, I got that, and as I'm putting it on, and I'll still look at my checklist to make sure. Like I said, the hat the one time, and I got about, I wasn't very far from the house. I was a few miles away, and I just thought, wonder, I don't see my hat, and I don't put my coat on when I get dressed at the house. I keep the coat off until I get to where I'm going, and then I can throw it on. Some places I take everything with me. I got a couple different bags, carry everything. That's where I really have the checklist, so I make sure, because then I ain't checking again until I get to the event.
So I'm curious. So you said sometimes you get dressed at home. and then you drive to your event. So I'm wondering, like, you pull up to a red light, and there you are sitting at the red light in your entire Santa outfit, and there's a car next to you, and they look over. What's their reaction?
Yeah, especially with the kids. And I just try to keep looking. It's funny, a couple times this has happened where the mom is in the front driving, of course, and the kids are in the back seat, and I look over and I wave. I'll grab my hat and put it on. And they go, I can see them yelling, Mom, Santa's next to us. And I hurry up and I take my hat off before she turns around to look. And I just keep looking straight ahead like nothing happened. And I do that once or twice. I've been able to do it. And the kids go, no, look, and I hurry up and take it off again. And the mom's looking like, why are they saying? I wave to them. And then when she's looking finally again, I put the hat back on and she starts laughing. That's happened a couple times on the road. But I have people all the time look at me, from at a red light, and if I sometimes even when I'm not dressed, I got my cards, or I had a couple flyers at one point, and I hurry up and hand it to them, and they go, "You are Santa. I thought you were."
Well, I'll say that some of the events that we've worked at, where there's a lot of people, and I see the kids come up, and they just, when especially that special age from like 4 to about 8 maybe. Where they're still in that moment where it's all about the magic, and there's the smiles on their faces, and they're talking to you, and some of them just go on and on and on and on and on, and they're just like they have a whole thing they want to talk to you about, and so when you're talking to the people, how does that make you feel? Just relaxing, having fun, and talking to people.
I've always, like I said, about having all the family with all the kids. I've always played with my nephews and nieces, when they were growing up. So I feel like I'm good with kids. That age group that you said is pretty good, where they're still fascinated with that. The events, anytime when they see me or they see Santa. They just, I can't believe it, would come running over, hugs, it melts your heart. The kids are just wonderful. The younger ones, it's funny, some of them are real curious, and you said from 4, those younger ones down 3, that 2.
Oh, the 2-year-olds are the ones that cry, or
they try to
get away.
I go, look, you got to be quick. Put them on my lap and hurry up and take a picture, because I can tell the kids looking like no, as they're pushing them closer. But it's just, it's magical. Just not only for those kids, it is for me. I mean, every kid is different. 101 questions all the time. And the very first time I was out doing one of my schools, because my nephews and nieces weren't so, they were all curious and that, and I didn't have I kind of have a routine now that I do, but one kid asked me at one of the schools, hey, name the reindeer, and for a second I started going, Goofy, Dopey, Daffy, and I'm like, no, I got stumped, like I couldn't believe he asked, and I just totally blew the kid off. I said, Jimmy, the little kid was beside him, I said, what was your question? And the kid was sitting there, I could tell he was looking at me like, hey, what happened? I thought you were going to name, and my daughter was with me, she said, you should have said, you name the reindeer, I know who they are, you name them. And then maybe I would have clicked in my head.
In the head, yeah.
So now I know the reindeer, but it was funny at that point, starting off, the different things, the questions they ask, how'd you find the elves? Well, and I all of a sudden my head's going, I was just happened to be, I was out by myself and traveling through the North Pole, and I actually stumbled across a group of elves, and they led me back to this secret place they have, and I said, it's a wonderful place, beautiful, so you get elaborate on the story about whatever it is that they're asking, always questions, where's the reindeer now? Well, they're in the North Pole, we only actually come out and fly. I say we practice up there, but we only come around and actually fly around the world there that special night. And of course the questions are, how do you do that? Or how do you get in my house? We have no chimney. And I got to answer for everything. You got to have an answer.
All right, Pat, or do you like Pat, or do you like Santa better?
Yeah, I tell people whatever, it's fine. Most of the people that know me and they like to call me Santa, I say it's fine. A lot of the teachers at school, anybody, even the grocery store, people go, oh, sorry, I called you, and I go, it's fine. It's who I am. So Santa's okay. I'll answer to Santa.
So so we really like to talk about photography here at St. Jean Creative Photography, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's really how we kind of met. Was I was looking for, had this idea, see, that's my New England accent coming out right there. I had this idea about doing some cool Santa on the beach photos 3 years ago, and that's when we met, was 3 years ago.
Wow.
So it's hard, I know, time goes by fast.
Yeah.
And I was at a art complex or show or something one night out in Pinellas Park, and your nephew
Yep.
has an art gallery out there.
Yep.
And I was just talking to people, I'm looking for a Santa, and then he happened to go, well, I happen to know somebody, and it happened to be you. So I actually met you by way of your nephew, who probably doesn't even remember who I am. I'm sure.
I think because over the time
over
now
the
that
time.
I've said, So,
And he gave me your information, and I called you up, and we met in July 2020, I think it was, or it would have been 2021. We met on the beach, and we just said, let's get together and see if we like each other.
right.
So, and we went to the beach, and you dressed up in your Florida outfit, which I like to call it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
tell me about how the inspiration for the Florida outfit came.
My sister-in-law, again, who helped me redo the fur, didn't help me. She did it all herself. I do very little stitching, but we come up with the idea that I said that different places have a Christmas in July. We need to do a Santa suit for July.
Especially
Make
in
it
Florida,
more.
yeah.
And she actually had made one years ago, and her husband, my brother, worked at a bar on the beach, and they had me out there doing a Santa in this suit, have shorts and the fur around the collar, the cuffs of the shorts, and a nice coat, but a real floral print, real summery Florida looking print. And she, we don't know what happened to that suit. I think the owners of the bar actually probably kept that, but she made me another one as the one I have now that we've been using. And it again, it looks real good.
Yeah, but the minute I saw you in that outfit, I was like, okay, he's the one I want. So if you on the video now, you should be seeing a picture of Pat's, what I like to call his Florida outfit. It's really cool. And this is actually one of the very first photos I took of you ever.
Yeah.
And I brought a boogie board, and I just stuck it in the edge of the water, and I had you stand on it and act like you were surfing. And I just really cropped in close to your feet so you couldn't see the beach line. And I got to say, it's one of my favorite photos I've ever taken.
Yeah, I show that to people all the time when they say, besides my traditional red suit, I show them that picture all the time. It's a great shot.
And I'll tell you, people love that outfit.
Yeah.
People just go nuts over it. And what I really like about that photo is I've used it over and over again in the last 3 years. So like when I'm doing posts or everything, I make like a little post online. So right now there's your Santa. I kind of zoomed in on you a little bit and made like a happy holiday. I made it as a banner for one of my posts and for promoting other beach sessions too. So I just love the Florida outfit. It's just like it's going to become a tradition, I think.
Yeah. I think that Christmas in July, it's always big. Seems like most of the time, of course, right by Christmas. I have done it for around Christmas for some other people, but they usually want that red traditional suit when it gets up near Christmas time. But this one it's still, like I said, I've had a couple people, and it was out on the beach. A family hired me just to come out to the beach, and they took some photos themselves.
And one of my favorite events we did a fundraiser for the Seaside Seabird Sanctuary, and we set up at the sanctuary's location, a beautiful location and a great organization. And you were only there for a couple hours, really. It wasn't a long event, but we ended up making like $250 for the sanctuary in a couple of hours. So doing nonprofit work is part of my business model. I'm sure it's part with Santa Claus. Obviously, it's probably a big part of your model too.
Yeah, I do my share of some charity work.
So that later that year, we did Santa on the beach the day after Thanksgiving. We've done that the last 3 years in a row.
Yeah, and it's turned out good. We've had.
And so I got a couple photos from our first Santa on the beach thing now. Okay, now this first one. So before I bring up the photo, we should know that it's not legal to bring dogs on the beach, especially in Pinellas County where we are. So this family showed up. They made a reservation. They showed up, all of them. There was like 5 or 6 of them, and they brought their dog. And every single one of them, including the dog, had pajamas on.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, well, what do I do? Do I not let them bring the dog down? Or
Yeah.
So, I talked with them, and I was like, all right, so here's what we'll do. Bring the dog, wait right at the end of the thing. I'm going to run in, drop the dog, grab him, and run out so we can get a couple photos. And
It worked out.
It worked out. And don't you know, the dog like actually smiled in the photo.
Yeah.
And that photo is coming up now on the screen. But that's one of my favorite photos. I love the story about, we can't bring the dog on the beach because, it's not. But
And we've had several of them come out. Or at different places. But on the beach, I think we had a couple different dogs.
So I just love that. Like the dog is actually smiling. I just think that's awesome. And that's kind of the memories. For me, when I take a photo, it gives me that memory of running in with the dog and running out with the dog. So hopefully they were from South America, I believe. And hopefully that gives them an awesome memory too of their time when they were vacationing here in Florida. So
I'm sure the family, when they got back home, the family was probably, I can't believe it.
I know. Now my second favorite picture from that day, I don't know if you remember this little old lady.
Yeah.
She actually called me on Thanksgiving Day. I don't know if I've told you this story or not. And I wasn't going to answer my phone. It's a holiday. I don't want to work. But then I saw it was from Treasure Island. So I thought maybe it's, I don't know. So I answered it, and I don't remember her name, but she was like, I really want to come get pictures with Santa. I said, okay, and I took her information. And I said, so what do you want to get out of your photos? She goes, this might be my last Christmas, this year. So she just wanted to make sure she got some great photos with Santa. And I was kind of like, ooh, we got to make sure this works out really well because, she didn't divulge anything about her last Christmas or whatever, but maybe she knew something that we didn't know that was happening. So I think what happened was she was trying to pick you up too, by the way. She was trying to get you to go out on a date with her. And so we got this shot right here where she gave you a little kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
And I just love that picture. I was like, oh, that's so cute.
That took off from there. Several other, not just that day, but from now on, actually, I always think, hey, I'll tell this lady, give me a little peck on the cheek, And we've got, I think, a couple other pictures. But
oh, absolutely, yeah.
She was great. This lady.
She was great, and I don't know what happened to her.
Yeah.
But she had a lot of fun, and that to me that was the important moment because I didn't know was she sick? Was she not? Was she just being funny? Oh, I'm old. This might be my last Christmas.
And she said she wanted to get the family all pictures.
Right. So I don't know which way that went, but see, to me, that's why I do photography.
Yeah.
I'll start crying here in a minute. Don't make me do that. But that's why I kind of do what I do. I want to make sure people have those moments. And then the next year, that year, this would have been two Christmases ago. I set up in the studio where we are now. I had an entire set with Santa's, like, I don't know if we call it his den, his napping area, or, kind of like that. And I was gonna do high-end photo sessions where you come in and we make an album for the parents with the kids' pictures in them and the storyline. Fortunately, that was the first year, so I don't think the word of mouth got around too quickly. But we did have one really cute session with the little kids, and I'm gonna pull up that picture right here. She was adorable, this little girl.
Yeah.
And in the book, I went in and I did more of an art edit to make them look more, illustrated with the Santa in the book. So this little girl here is actually, you're reading her letter from you to you.
Yeah.
Whatever picture she wanted, or whatever toy she wanted. And when I look at that photo, she's just looking at you.
Yeah.
And she's smiling, and she's just a cutie.
You can tell just the look on her face.
Yeah. And
she's just absolutely just, overcome. She can't believe she's sitting beside
I know, she's sitting
Santa.
right next to you in her own private room, too, which is even more exciting. which I just love that look. That's one of my favorite photos from that session. And of course, her brother was with her too. So here's that where you're reading the night before Christmas to them. And in the photos, when I went in and did the art style editing, I would add some special effects to it. It's like with this picture here, it's like your magic is coming out of the book to keep them interested and reading the book. And they're both, look at them, they're both looking right at the book and they're listening to what you're saying. And my favorite too is we brought out the globe, and you're showing them where you live at the North Pole on the globe, and they're just watching you. And so you kind of went into how you fly around the world.
Those kids were really, they were hanging on every word. They wanted to hear what I had to say. That was really cool.
And from that, just before we did that, we did some promo pictures together, just with you and me, without anybody here. And I have to show this on camera now because this photo actually hangs in the studio.
Nice.
Come here. Ugh. And you've seen this one.
Oh, yeah.
So this picture, this actually hangs in the studio because it's like one of my favorite shots of the holidays. I mean, you can make a Christmas card out of that. You can do lots of fun things. So that's Santa is painting his truck, and there's a little bit of a magic coming out from the paintbrush there.
And at first I thought, I don't have my hat on, but you know what? It doesn't matter.
No.
You put those extra sparkles in there, and just the look, the truck, everything was set up perfect. It really looks good. I really like that photo.
You might get one of these someday for Christmas.
Oh,
you never know,
yeah,
right? So.
Good. Hey, Santa likes gifts too.
I know Santa doesn't get enough gifts in his life. He needs to get more of them. All right, so the next year we had more beach pictures. I'm going to bring up some of the beach pictures. And this lady was great. Another kiss on the cheek photo.
I think she came. Was this the one that she had several different outfits?
She came with a couple of outfits, and she changed her outfits.
3 or 4 different outfits, and she seemed to really enjoy it too.
And one of the things that I added that year was surfing with Santa.
Oh, yeah.
So we've done that for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
And so we got her up. So I brought the boogie board again. And I got her on the boogie board, and I got you on there, and there you are, on the boogie board, looking like you're kind of floating along with our friend there. And we'll see the ones from this year, which I thought were really awesome. But and then we had a little guy, this young man. He was really into the Santa. Then we got him on the boogie board, and I like this one because you're both looking like you're surfing out into the distance there. And I actually on the channel, on my YouTube channel, there's some videos of you surfing with these two people too. I did some videos on there, and you're kind of holding them there, trying to show them how to stand on the boogie board, and so check those out too. And so far, I just love. I think Christmas is probably one of my favorite. Yeah, my style of photography. I like vibrant. I like color. I don't like the muted tones that seem to be popular today. People put very, kind of unsaturated. They make you feel like it's modern. But for me, a good photo should be in style all the time, not just for a certain trend or something.
Right.
So that's why I like the colors, the colorful photos. And so last year, for 2023, I wanted to go in a different direction, so I went like retro 1960s and 70s. So we had the silver Christmas trees, and the colors were like 19. I think when I first thought of the idea, I wanted a Doris Day movie set with the big skyline behind us and a penthouse apartment, and that was kind of hard to find. But then I found a backdrop that kind of was similar to the colors of that time. So
it was good. That was a real good one.
And so I'm going to bring up a couple of pictures of you in the set that we had this year. And there you are reading Night Before Christmas. And like I said, I love the colors of that. It just came out so nice with the greens and the blues. It looked very like 1960s, 50s, kind of mid-century.
Yeah.
And then this one here, I like because you're eating your donuts and your coffee, which I thought was great. You're just sitting there in your room and you're relaxing and just enjoying yourself.
Santa's got to keep his figure going there.
And we did those. That was in July of 2023, I believe. We did these pictures during July because you want to get your promo pictures out.
Yeah.
So I had to set up an entire Christmas set in July and then tear it down 2 weeks later and put up something else. So it was like so it's a lot of work putting up these sets and coming up with the ideas.
Yeah.
And
Everything you do seems very time consuming. A lot of work to it.
And then a friend of mine, Cameron, came in with his mom and his dog. So this is Cameron's mom, and she's whispering to you what she wants for Christmas.
She was real nice too.
Very sweet. And the dog is still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dog was like, what, 18 years old when it was in here? He's still around because I see pictures of him all the time. And there's a picture of you and Charlie's his name. There he is. And Charlie, it's hard to sometimes when they're older, they don't move a lot. So you have to kind of encourage them. And I think we've both learned that having little doggy treats can get the dog to look at you. So if you're doing pet photos with Santa, what I've learned is let Santa get the animal to look at him, and we can give little catnip treats or little doggy bites that you can use to encourage them to look up at you. And
yeah, they say animals and children are tough to work with. Yeah, you got to have the right tricks. You got to know.
But pets are just as part of the family as anything else too. And then here's one with Cameron and Charlie together. And Charlie was looking right at the camera. And I think Santa was whispering in his ear, or you were petting him or something like that. So, but Charlie was just adorable and he was cute. And then this year we did Santa on the Beach #3, and it was supposed to be the day after Thanksgiving, but it was cold and rainy.
Rainy, yeah.
And so we pushed the people who booked it. They live close, so they booked it the week after, and we came down to the beach. And this year I took surfing with Santa to a new level. I'm not sure if you've seen these photos yet.
I think it did.
And so I'm going to pull one up right now. We had these cute kids, and with the magic of editing the photos, I actually took the surfing and made it look like you're actually in the deep water surfing with the kids and putting splashes around the ankles and I love this picture because you're both looking like, oh my God, we're going to go that way. And this next one I love too because you got the kid right next to you and you both look surprised, but I got the big wave in behind you, like you're surfing down the wave. And then they had their brothers, so we had the two of them together. There they are. And getting two brothers close in age to coordinate is always a fun.
Yeah. Challenge.
Yeah, I just love it. It's and then our last event this year for us was at the Mahaffey Theater. And we did. It was a long day.
Yeah.
I mean, I was there at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. I think. Well, then you were a lot longer than me. Because I think I counted. I was there about 10 hours, and I didn't get there until I think 1. So you had a few hours.
Yeah. So I had to set up the whole thing, and I was there by myself till just about 2. Then my helpers came, and we were there for 10 hours each for the two of them. So by the time I got out of there, I mean the show was over at 10, and I was out there at 11. So I think I was there for 12 hours.
Wow.
So but they were great, and they were a great organization to work with. And so we set up this great backdrop, which I love, the snowflakes and the red and the white. And we were afraid it would clash with your outfit, but it didn't clash with your outfit at all.
Nah, that looks good.
And this was literally in the middle of a lobby theater. This is where this all took place. And I love these two. These are two of the bartenders at the theater, and they wanted to just take a picture, and we did. We just kind of had fun with it.
Yeah.
And they were blowing you kisses, and you're just like, this is, don't let Mrs. Claus know about this, right? I think that's kind of your usual reply when someone wants to do that. But I love that picture. That's like one of my favorites from the night. And we did a lot of family pictures too. So here's all the women from this one family all together. So it's all these generations. You got grandma, mom and dads, and the young kids and the grandkids all in one picture, which to me, I tell people, I've got pictures of my grandmother, but I don't have one photo of me and my grandmother together. So I could Photoshop it, but that's not the same thing.
This is going to be a special picture.
Yeah, and so I hate whenever I see somebody on the pier, like if I'm downtown and mom or dad's taking the picture, I'll just stop and take it for them because I want them to be in the picture.
Yeah.
And I think this year when I do that, I'm going to have my business card. I'm going to hand my business card at the same time.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea, right?
And so, but this is really why I love doing photos. It's because of it's moments like this. And but I also too like I'm going to show a couple of the promos I made too with the pictures we took. So there's Santa in the picture doing some overlays.
Yeah.
I think I sent these to you. I don't remember. He was cute too. Yeah, he was cute. We was whispering in your ear.
I remember it.
Yep. That was the family who came all in black.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's Tater Tot. That's the name of the dog.
Oh yeah.
And he was just a puppy. If you see him now, he's about like 90 pounds now.
Oh yeah.
He's huge now. So, but yeah, I mean, you can do great things with it. You can make Christmas cards out of them. You can make posters. You can make great gifts. You know, you can frame it. You can send it to the grandparents. You can do all these great things with photos. So what do you? So anything? So we were talking Christmas in July. I'm sure we'll do something again.
Yeah, I'm always up for that. It's nice, even though July here is hot. That suit is very lightweight. So
well, you mean the Florida one?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they're short,
Florida.
so yeah.
So
if you're wearing
it's
your
not,
velvet one, that would be a whole nother
not
story.
bad. But yeah, I've been called out. Even like you say, that Mahaffey was the last thing, and I thought.
Well, that was for me. You might have had more.
I should have brought it. I always have a fan. I should have brought my fan there, but I thought it'll be cool enough in there. But boy, it was.
Yep. And that's actually on my list for the studio this year too. It's like I have a fan like one you carry at home. I never think to bring it in here. I just need to buy one for in here. So when I have a session like that where you're wearing something heavy, just to help cool you down.
I bought another one too. It runs off of batteries. Yeah, so.
Well, batteries are good, because you can take that to the beach and everything too.
I had a
Not
job
that it helps.
at that Shop-a-Palooza. I was out there, and no electric around, but I had my fan.
How did that go? How was Shop-a-Palooza?
It was good. We had quite a few people going through. It was such a big area.
Well, Sunday it rained all day. That second day it was.
Well, a little bit later in the day it started to rain because we got in. I was there for a couple hours each day. And I was. It seemed like towards the end of that second hour is when it really started to rain. And but I thought it went well. I hope it did. I was looking pictures that I seen. They posted some Shop-a-Palooza, but I didn't see Santa in any of the pictures.
Really?
And I knew their guy that was walking around, the photographer they had.
Yeah, they had
I know
Rob,
he had stopped and told me, don't forget to look at the page when I get these posted. That, but maybe he's going to post more. I was hoping because I didn't.
Well, usually when I'm doing an event like that, like a big event, like a convention or something, the photos don't go. The person who hired you is the one who gets the photos. So it would be Esther, I think, or whoever ran Shop. They're the ones who decide where the photos go. It wouldn't be the person who did the photo because there's a contract involved in the person. So they may not be allowed to post them according to the agreement. So it really depends on the agreement. So that's one thing I try to say. If I'm doing an event, I give them the first 6 months to post whatever they want. Then after that, I'm allowed to post them. Just to give them if they're paying me for an event, they should get the exclusive right to post them first before anybody else does for their own promotions or whatever. And then after a few months, depending on the contract that you get, usually I do 6 months, and then after 6 months I can start posting things. Oh, look at the great time we had. Depends if they pay me or not. If it's a nonprofit, it depends on the moment. But Pat, that was awesome.
There was a lot of good pictures. Yeah, a lot of good. Just looking at that and I'm thinking of memories. It was. Yeah, there was some fun times.
We've had some good times together. I just want to say, how much I appreciate you as a person because, I enjoy working with you a lot.
Very easy to work with you too. No, I'm glad that we were able to hook up.
And the other thing too is, it's just about having fun.
Yeah.
If you can't just relax and have fun, then why bother?
Yeah.
Because that's what when the people are interacting, I'm just like, just do what you would normally do, talk to them, and I really try not to interfere with what you're doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I might say, oh, move over this way a little bit or something, just to get you in the right light or whatever. But it's really about just letting you do what you do, and then I do what I do, and then somehow this magical thing
I was
happens.
gonna say, and it works out.
Yeah.
You do a great job, that's for sure. Some of those pictures, they really, the ones that you haven't even doctored, you know, doing some of your, but a lot of those I've had people say it's like a Norman Rockwell there, you know. It looks, you know, and they do. They're just they're really great. Whether it's been I don't know how I say doctored.
Edited. Editing. Yep.
That you have, or if they're not, they still come out really good. It's always been. I don't remember saying anything. You know, oh boy, that one don't look so good.
Yeah, I mean, I try to do as little editing as I have to. So I really, when I'm doing photos, I really try to get everything as close to what I want when I'm actually taking the photo at the moment, because then I have less work to do when I get back to the studio and upload them and look at them. Now, the artsy stuff, like doing the albums with the magicals, that takes a little bit of time, obviously. But I really do try to get the photo as close to what I want, taking the photo at that moment. And then when I come back in here, all I have to do is just check it, make sure the colors look good, make sure nothing looks really weird, or tweak something here and there. But for the most part, they're pretty much ready to go once I take them. So that just saves me a lot of time.
Yeah,
so,
you got a real good eye for all that. That's you know, what makes a good photographer is picking up on those things, because I know you've said, oh, I got to do, you know, and I'm looking at it going, it looks fine to me. But after you know, you've tweaked it a little, it does, it really enhances the pictures. So you really do a good job with that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And you do an awesome job too, by the way, just so you know. All right, we're going to hold for a minute, and then I'm going to do my final. All right, so I hope you all enjoyed the very first episode of Snapshot Photo. I got to say, this went a lot better than I thought it was going to go. It was easier. I mean, you're just easy to talk to. Yeah, well, you are Santa Claus.
Well, yeah, he's got to listen. That's a big part of it, is listening.
And if you have any questions or anything, please reach out to me. I'm going to put all of Santa Pat's info in the description, and I'll have my info there as well. Go down there, like the video, subscribe to the channel, because we got more. I got 4 more of these story videos coming up in the next couple of weeks. So learn about what it is, you know, the importance of photography in your life and how you can use it and have memories and share it with people. So thank you again, everybody, for watching, and we will look forward to seeing you on the next. Oh, we're waving. Good. We don't have any jingle bells. We need some jingle bells.
I thought we were signing off.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Merry Christmas.